Hello, folks. Tim here again with some more Marble Strike Force. So it's it's been 2 weeks, pretty much, since there was a video, and I apologize. Um, I've been moving, and it's not an ideal situation. So I'm recording this basically outside. So you might hear birds chirping. Uh, you might hear cars driving by. I do apologize for that, but I didn't want to go any longer without making a video, right? So I couldn't find the camera, first off, which I could have lived without because people don't need to see my ugly face. But then I couldn't find my microphone. But I finally found it this morning, and I said, hey, let's go ahead and do a Strike Force video. So here we are. It is day 387. I got my new little outline here. And, we're 105, which is, we've been 105. But let's take a look at our roster. So our total collection power is 51,087,934. Our strongest team powers, 6.3 million. Total characters collected, 304. Sorry about that. Characters at max star rank, 188. So, progress. And, I've been able to play and do everything every day that I kind of wanted to work on. So, I've been able to do that. I just haven't been able to make a video. So, let's take a look at our arena. So, here's our new arena team with our Mephisto here. And I am currently rank 30. And I set up my defense with Mephisto as well. So we haven't been taking like 20, 30 point plummets since we added Mephisto. So that's good. If we go in and look at what I'm facing, there's a lot of Odins, a lot of Null now. Let's see, what else? There's some Old Man Logan in there. But I've actually been able to overcome Null, pretty much. It's just nobody's really had him built up. So that's been pretty cool. I've even been able to overcome some Odins, which that's been pretty cool. There's a lot of mirror matches, my Mephisto against other people's Mephisto. So it's arena has been fun. I still don't like Overpower. Overpower has taken away some of my enjoyment in certain areas of the game. But I guess it's just something I have to get used to. If we go in and look at our milestones, Race to Professor X, we're working on Milestone 3. I would love to be able to get his 7 red. I just don't think I'm going to get there. Monkey Business. So earn Gear Tier 20 and Hit Monkey Diamonds. Working on Milestone 14 with 3 days left. Crimson Storm. Our alliance is doing well. We are sitting at Milestone 8, or working on Milestone 18 with 2 days left. And, I completed an X-Man in Space. I completed that. So, there's 3 days left before we get our next one. Age of Lilandra, we completed that. So that's been pretty awesome. In our events, so the Shadow King Trials, I was working on it, and I got to here. So, I'd like to get to here, but I'm struggling a little bit to get through it. I'd like to get the next star on him. So we still have 3 days, and I might give it another whirl at a little harder difficulty. Vigilant Authority, our showcase. So, we're up here. We're basically, just farming that every day. Fallen Dimension. There's 2 days left on that, and I've worked on it. This is as far as I've gotten, was to Mission 7. 5 Vigilante or Skill Global. And, I think I can go in here and maybe get this one done again today. So I've been working out of the little Fallen Dimension Omega. I have not touched because I don't have the full vigilante team. So, you know, um, just been working on things. No more Meant to Fly, that ended, but that's okay. There's just so much to share, right? Our campaigns, we're just farming. Our command center, we're doing things. Um, I don't have a 5-star Daredevil yet. I don't have a 5-star Silver Sable, and I don't have a 5-star Hit Monkey. But if we can get Daredevil another star soon, we got what, 5 days? So maybe within 5 days we can get another star for Daredevil. That would be awesome. Starlight Vigil, Spend Vigil. I'm getting this one every day. I'm getting this one every week. And I need to do 2 more Crucibles with Lilandra. So since Crucible will start tonight, basically at reset, I think I can get those 2. I think I can get those 2 done before the 3 days is up. Return of the Shadow King. We're doing okay. Where are we with the rewards? So we're up here. We just got today. We just got the 100 Ancient One shards, which, we don't really need, but getting the gold and the trading mats, we do like that. And hopefully tomorrow or the day after, we'll get this one done. And then in our King in Black, so we have achieved the 3 red stars, and within the next day or 2, maybe. So we already did it today. So tomorrow, or the day after, I can't remember which one, to be honest with you. We should get his 4th red star, which will be awesome. So that's been fun. In our Alliance War, we've been kind of 50-50. We lost yesterday's, but I came in, and so Alliance War with, what do you call it? It's been a little weird with Overpower. So I originally had some teams thrown in on Flight Deck 1, but another member of our Alliance, Eclipse, pointed out that let's put our strongest defenses up front. So I moved some stuff away. Lieutenant Rhodey went ahead and put some solid teams in there for defense. Eclipse has his, 619 Commander has his, and then in Flight Deck 3, Soundwave has his. So I'd like to see us get these other spots filled up with some higher defense. I moved mine down here, and what I did was I got rid of the good teams that I had on defense because I need more on offense. So I went through and I just basically I threw these guys in here for some defense. I got my Young Avengers and, I forget what this team's called, Infestation. So I just threw some stuff in here, and I threw Liberty in here on defense. So it's not great defense, but it's defense. At least it's not minions, right? At least it's not shield minions. And I have put a little bit of work into those teams. I'll show you kind of what I've been doing when I get there. In our raids, I feel like we're doing awesome in our raids. Chaotic Storm's coming along pretty good. That's been actually kind of fun. Spotlight 2 Strike, we're still doing the main one. We do some damage, right? I feel like we're almost ready to go up the next rank, to the next level, and I'll show you what I've been working on to facilitate that. Crucible starts tonight. Battle World should be coming again soon. But that's pretty much the overview. Let's get into let's talk about characters, because I've been doing a lot of work on characters, right? So Taskmaster, we're farming every day to get him his 7th star, And if we come in and we look at squads, let's try to do it this way and see if I can cover my bases. So Silver Sable, we are 28 out of 100. And she'll have, when we get 7 stars and all her reds, she'll have 2 diamonds, which will be pretty awesome. Electra, she's got a diamond. I haven't brought her past 60 yet. I did unlock Daredevil Modern. I got to cross off my notes. I got to cross off my notes as we do this because I have so many of them. So we brought him up to 60, and, we geared him out. And we put his green ISO on him. And then the Punisher, we got the Punisher, maxed out, and he's got a diamond on him. So that's pretty awesome. I can't wait to build him more. And we're going to have to build Vigilantes up because, they're the new skill team. So, for raids. All right, and Hit Monkey, I don't have a single shard for yet. Our Star Jammers, we brought them all up to 60 except Lilandra, who we brought up to 80. Our Liberty, let's do it like this, all right? So Howard the Duck, we got our 4th star for Howard the Duck. So we're pretty happy about that. We already covered Electra's diamond. We got Havoc, his 4th star. So that's pretty awesome. We're happy about that. And then we'll just pop on down. Here's our Liberty. They're all at 55 right now. They're not, resources, right? So let's pop in here and we'll discuss what's going on in here. So in order to do the next tier of Spotlight, we need to have built up Alpha Flight, and we need to build up Uncanny Avengers. So that's where my focus has been. So we brought North Star up to 95. We maxed out his purple. He's got 2 diamonds. We brought Sunfire up to 95. We maxed out his purple. And these guys are going to have to go to 100. Same thing with Guardian, fully purpled. He's got 1 diamond on him. Wolverine's got 1 diamond, fully purpled. And Sasquatch, has got his 7 stars, all red and fully purpled. So why are we... Somebody's going to be like, oh, you're wasting purple ISO. I want to be able to accomplish the next tier of raids, right? We need purple ISO on things. Because, at 95, if I take these guys in there right now how they are, I'll probably get a mud hole stomped in me. I'd prefer that not to happen. So, overall, the team's grown, 2.2 million. Blade, we could talk about Blade for a second. So, Blade has 1 diamond, level 90. I'm sorry, he's got 2 diamonds. Level 90, gear tier 17. And he's got his fully purpled out, his ISO. And, we're going to bring these guys up, at some point soon. Get them all up to 95. And, here we are with these guys. So, Falcon, he's got 1 diamond on him. I fully purpled him. He's 85-16. Same thing with Storm. She's got a diamond. Jean Grey, we got all 7 of her stars. So we are happy about that. At least I'm happy about that. And then Hercules, right? So 3 diamonds. Awesome. He's going to be the next one to come up. So, super happy about that. Got him his 7 star like the other day. And Hive Mind, we're not doing shit with Hive Mind. Okay, so I've been playing around with replacing Venom with Null, and it's been kind of cool. So I might build these guys up at some point and then use them as a team with Null. I think that would be fun. But here's my mutant raid team right now, 2.2 million. My Spider Society's 4.4. My Orcus is 5.3. So yeah, been having some fun with that. Let's visit our friend Mephisto. So we got Mephisto his 7 stars, right? We completed our second run. We got him his 7 star. I brought him up to 105, and he is gear tier 19. So he's really making a difference in war, right? Let me see. Where are our squads? So let's just go back into squads because it's easier to find some of these characters. So Medusa, we got Medusa her 7th star. So pretty awesome. Super excited about that. Miss Marvel Classic. Where is she? Right here. We got her 6th star, and she's 52 out of 300 for her 7th. So super excited about that. All right, where are we? So Ancient One, she got a diamond. She's at 80, gear tier 15. So super happy about that. And then Mr. Fantastic. So if you notice, I changed up. Well, you didn't notice because we haven't looked at it yet. But I changed up my overall roster, my squads. So I'm gonna leave for now, and I'm probably gonna replace Super Skrull with Mephisto at some point. But this team's doing really good for me in content, and Orcus is doing really good for me in content. Spider Society's being replaced, but I still feel like Spider Society is a very strong team. I think they're going to have a lot of use in the future. And then, here's my here's my Astral. But mainly what you're going to notice is down here at the bottom. So I put a little bit. I brought them all up to level 30 except Squirrel Girl, who was already 50. Brought these guys up to 30. I could bring her up a little bit. I threw, because we don't want Doctor Strange on this team, I just threw the new Omega Red on there. Not really like, oh, we're going to do something with it. It's just there for filler. So I put a little work into our smaller teams with some spare training materials that I had. Like I've done, a little bit each day. I brought them up 5 levels at a time. So, yeah. I think that's it for characters. Mr. Fantastic, we got a 2nd diamond on him. Wherever he is. He's hanging out somewhere, just chilling. Doesn't matter. We got a 2nd diamond on him. And that's it. Like, progress. That's what I care about, right? Forward momentum. I have such a small space to work here. I'm trying to find a place to put my notebook. There we go. So, I mean, forward progress. We're definitely progressing the account, and I'm loving it. Like, other than overpower ruining some of my fun in war, and I don't even know why it's ruining some of my fun. It just, I don't know how to explain it. Teams I should be stomping are almost beating me, right? Like, I don't know. All right, let's see what else there is to cover. In our supplies, the X coins. Did I get did we just get a reset? We did. All right, so we're at 400,000 coins. We're buying our gear tier 20, and then any of our crimson gear that we need, we're buying that in there. In here, we're just opening our orbs as we go. What do I have 3 orbs of? Oh, basics. We'll open the gold orbs. We always need gold. We're sitting at 96 million right now. What else do we have? I don't know. Whatever. And in here, in supplies, we're just buying things. I'm going to get this vibranium because we only have 115. And then in our Blitz, so we have 219 Blitz orbs. We don't need ancient ones, so we're just hoarding those for when they bring the next character in. I'm buying my energy refills. And then, yes, I'm buying minions. we're buying minions, folks. And what I did this morning, the first round, was I just went in and I just bought everybody. I have a good amount of credits, so I'm just buying everybody. The completionist in me is like, buy minions, dummy. Maybe someday I'll make a weird minion team. So, yeah, that's it. That's it for Blitz in our raid. So our Spotlight raid orbs, we currently have 2. We have Medusa, so there's no reason to spend those right now, right? I don't think I have any raid orbs. I don't. So in the raid store, we're not buying any of these because we're maxed. And then there's really been no characters in here to buy. And, we're sitting on 89,000. So what I've been doing is I've been checking the gear. And I'm like, if I don't have enough of something to, like, bring a bunch of characters up, then I just come in here and I buy me some minions. I'm hoarding minions, folks. And then in our arena, so we're buying our training modules. Oh, no, I don't have enough. That sucks. That's all right. So we're not buying Star-Lord today, obviously. In our war store, buying awakened ability mats. So the basic for Blade, we're at 115. Captain Britain's passive, we're at 55. And there's really been nobody in here to buy. I'm buying Minerva when she pops up because that's about it. That's about all there is to buy in here. And then, so we have, 383,000 of these. And I don't know what else to spend them on. So, I'm just buying this shit. And in our Cosmic Crucible store, I wanted to look at this, but it's not going to let me. So, Miss Marble Classic. We're buying her, and she's now 57 out of 300. And we're buying Abomination. So, 108 out of 300 for Abomination. And then there's really nothing for us to spend on in here. So our Red Star Orbs, we have 9 of them, but they're only X1. So we are going to hold on until it's X10. But I don't want to spend my Dark promo credits. Really, and I don't have the diamond credits, and I'm only got 123 gold orb, or gold promo credits. So we're not really spending in there. In our Ultra store, earlier there was nothing in here to get. I'm not going to spend on Gwenpool right now, or Nem. I will spend on Abomination. I'm not buying Nobu. I'm not buying Black Panther 1 million BC. And then in our Siege store, we have our Thanos, we have Hercules maxed, we have Jean Grey maxed. So we're just going to hoard these as much as possible for somebody awesome to show up. We could buy orbs, but, you know what I mean? I don't want to waste the credits. Hey, another achievement. Spend 400,000 Blitz credits. But I've been popping off a bunch of achievements too, So I've been happy about that. And this red dot in the milestone is for one of these. There's a store link to it. Which I don't know which one it is. Is it the Havoc? Is it the I don't know. There's a store link to one of these. So that's why it's still lit up at 1. But hey, that's pretty much it. We are, I think for being a free-to-play account at, what is it? What I say, 380 something days. I think we're actually in really good shape. And if I wasn't worried about raid, I really want us to get us to the next tier of raids. If I wasn't worried about that, I'd actually be worried. I'd actually be working on the stuff for Dark Dimension 8. But I need to work on the raid teams first, right? So non-legendary city villains, we already know who we gotta who we gotta work on for that, right? You know, we're gonna use Mysterio, we're gonna use Kraven, we're gonna use Vulture, and I'm thinking of oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm thinking of using Carnage and Red Goblin to go with them. But I mean, I could do Lizard and Spider Slayer. That's up for debate. All right, guys, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm so glad you guys joined me for this. And again, I'm sorry it's been so long since there was a video, but complicated living right now, and I'm probably gonna move again in a couple weeks. So, yeah, if you're, please like the video. If you are finding us for the first time, please subscribe. And there is a playlist that goes all the way back to day one of this free-to-play account. And yes, it is 100% free-to-play. I have not spent a dime. In comments, love the comments. I miss the comments. Usually, like I've said before, the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I read the comments. That's what I do when I'm having my first cup of coffee. All right, guys. Have a good one, and I will see you later.